we're going to talk a little bit about the World Seed Partnership, what it is, and how it can help the seed industry. I'm just going to go around the table and introduce everyone. I'm Marc Zienkiewicz of Seed World. We will start with Jonathan.
I'm Jonathan Brooks, head of the Agri-Food Trade and Markets Division at OECD, responsible for the OECD seed schemes. The seed schemes provide an internationally harmonized varietal certification system that facilitates the movement of seed nationally and internationally.
I'm Mark Watne from the WFO, the representative on the World Seed Partnership. The WFO, or the World Farmers Organization, is an organization that represents farmers worldwide and globally, giving them a voice on key issues that impact farming.
I'm Michael Keller, Secretary General of the International Seed Federation. I'm very happy to welcome all of you here at the World Seed Congress, where we have 1,700 delegates from around the world. The most important thing is for ISF, we have a clear vision. We want to make quality seed accessible to all, to support sustainable agriculture and food security. And therefore, we're also very happy to be part of the World Seed Partnership.
Hello, I'm Andreas Wais. I'm Secretary General of the International Seed Testing Association, which is an organization gathering laboratories all around the world who are related to seed testing. We are accrediting some of these laboratories to enable them, when they follow the International Seed Testing Association's rules, which are fixed by governments, to issue certificates on seed quality, which can be used for international trading of seeds.
Good morning, my name is Peter Button. I'm the Vice Secretary General of UPOV. UPOV is a system of intellectual property rights, specifically to encourage plant breeding so that we can develop new plant varieties that are supporting farmers in delivering the right food security, and innovation that leads to economic development in the rural sector.
And good morning, everyone. My name is Ben Rivoire, and I'm the head of the Seed Sector Cooperation at UPOV, and looking in particular after the World Seed Partnership initiative.
Great. So I just wanted to start off by giving people a snapshot of what the World Seed Partnership is. Can you fill in for us exactly what it is, what it does, and the purpose of its existence?
Okay. So the World Seed Partnership is a joint initiative by our organizations with the aim of supporting seed sector development in countries around the world. And one of the main aims of the partnership is really to explain what our organizations do and show how they work together to help countries to achieve food security and also develop to supply economic development in the rural sector.
I think for the seed sector, it's the opportunity also to go further in our capacity as seed sector and the seed industry to support the farmers on the ground. What we are always saying as the seed sector, we are able to supply with quality seed when we have also the regulatory frame. It's very important. We have here OECD, we have UPOV, we have ESTA, which is helping us to have the right frame, to have the predictability of our rules, to work, to invest, also to create improved varieties, which helps farmers around the world. And I think to go in a country for a seed company, it's very important when you're investing money, when you're going in breeding programs, when you want to produce seed in the country to support with locally adapted varieties farmers, you need the right regulatory frame. And therefore the World Seed Partnership and what we are doing in the discussions with government is absolutely critical for us.
I think we share a view that plant breeding and the provision of high quality seeds to farmers is a key to agricultural development, gains in agricultural productivity, and with it to improvements in food security globally. And it's important that we communicate that in a consistent manner. And then when we are liaising with countries that are members of our respective organizations or prospective members, that we offer a single point of entry where people can understand how they can develop their seed sector in a coherent way.
We believe that seed quality is essential in that case as well. Seed rules were first coming up on seed quality in the second half of the 19th century, more in Europe. And the aim was food security at that time as well, and to prevent farmers from receiving seeds which don't have the quality which they should have, or from fraud seeds. And that is something we want to take into the whole world. And for ISTA, that is an important mission.
Who are the organizations in the World Seed Partnership and what do they do? Can you give us a snapshot of that?
UPOV is the International Union for the Protection of New Varieties of Plants, and the mission of UPOV is very clear. It is to encourage the development of new varieties of plants, to encourage plant breeding, because new plant varieties are key for farmers to be able to respond to all their challenges, to produce good crops, to produce the kind of crops that consumers, society needs. And nowadays, the challenges that farmers face are enormous and growing all the time, and new plant varieties will become even more important. And that's why we in UPOV are very supportive of this World Seed Partnership.
The World Farm Organization ensures the participation of farmers in relevant discussion for ensuring farmers access to improved varieties and sustainable and affordable seeds. And it's really in the interest of farmers to be at that table to have that discussion.
The International Seed Federation is the voice of the seed sector at global level. We are representing national seed organizations around the world, covering 98% of the whole seed movement. At the end, we are representing, and it's also showing the diversity of our members through our national seed associations, approximately 7,500 seed companies who are acting around the world to reach all farmers. And for us, as I mentioned, we have a clear vision, which is aligned with the vision of also the World Seed Partnership to make this seed accessible to all farmers. And when we look what we need today, there are many smallholders farmers still out there in Africa who do not have access to quality seed. And our priority is to provide seed choice for farmers, and to provide the seed choice for farmers to improve the food production, to improve also the capacity to address climate change and other challenges. We need to be able to access the farmers through our system, regulatory system, but also through the partnership with the World Farmers Organization, because it's about information, it's about education. I think the most important thing is we have somehow responsibility. We know that from the agricultural input, seed is the most important. 60% up to 70% of the latest yield increase is coming from what? Is coming from seed. The seed is the starting point of the food production. If you get not the seed right, the output cannot be at the end what we are looking for. Therefore, we see this responsibility, and we want to bring in our contribution to the World Seed Partnership, and this in cooperation with the farmers.
The OECD's slogan is better policies for better lives. And in our work on agriculture, we emphasize the need for policies that can improve the productivity, the sustainability, and the resilience of agriculture. The OECD seed schemes are one of the few areas where the OECD is engaged in standard setting. And we really want to ensure that those standards are compatible with those broader objectives that we all share for the agricultural sector.
The International Seed Testing Association regards the World Seed Partnership as one of the focal points, and we see that we all have one aim, that is food security. And there we try to do our best with enhancing the knowledge about seed testing in countries all around the world by working with governments, working with farmers, and working with the local laboratories, maybe states laboratories or private laboratories. Enhance them to work more in the area of uniformity in seed testing by giving workshops and enabling them to become accredited ISTA members to work for this common goal.
Now, I was hoping you could enlighten us a little bit on why the World Seed Partnership was originally created. What was the thinking behind that decision?
I think it's clear, and we've seen on many occasions that all of these systems that our organizations provide are really important to have successful, sustainable agriculture and to deliver the objective of food security and also economic development. And I think what we saw is that our organizations worked independently. We all had our own objectives. And it dawned on us, look, we need to work together instead of trying to explain these systems independently. These are very, very complex systems, very specific. And it's sometimes very confusing for countries when you have someone explaining one scheme using very technical terms, and then another organization comes along and talks about similar issues using similar terms. And we thought we really ought to take the initiative to work together to make sure that we can speak as one voice, make sure that all these systems are understood, what their role is, how they work together, and how you can make those effective together. And so now we've dedicated some energy and efforts into trying to speak with one voice, provide a coherent message, and explain how these systems are compatible and really synergistic to really help to get the right seed to farmers on a consistent basis.
Perhaps just to emphasize, from the private seed sector perspective, it is clear the cooperation with the international organizations like ISTA, EU, and OECD is critical, because what Peter mentioned is together. That's the important one, because when you want to create in a given country a vibrant seed sector, it is important that you have the three, at the end, correlated conventions implemented at the national level, or you have accredited ISTA labs. I think that's from our side also always the message we are saying to governments when we have discussions with governments, or our members are telling us when they were asked, oh, why you are not more investing here, or why do you not have breeding programs there? They're always saying, hey, if we go there, we need intellectual property. We need seed schemes. It's about movement of seed, but we want to also to ensure the quality of the seed. And I think the three things are working together, and therefore it's so critical. The word together for us makes absolutely sense here.
We had the chance to prove the pudding, if you want to say, with two projects which we started. One was last year in Myanmar, where all of the 5 organizations were present and had the opportunity to talk to the local stakeholders there, governments, farmers, and also the laboratories, producers, local producers. And that was a very successful project. And we also gathered together in Nigeria beginning of this year and had the opportunity to give presentation there also to all these stakeholders again. So that is something we are looking forward to, having newer projects and be able to speak with one voice, as Peter said, and give the people the possibility also to have all stakeholders in this area together. Maybe seed testing, maybe seed schemes, maybe plant variety protection, or the producers and the farmers. I think that's a very important thing which World Seed Partnership reached until now.
I heard that the World Farmers Organization joined this initiative quite recently. Why does the World Farmers Organization think that this initiative is important?
Well, we believe that seed, being the basis of all production, is one of the key components to many of the issues that we face in farming. I primarily look at 3 areas. First, with the climate change becoming a real issue, we're going to need a seed development to deal with the necessities to continue to grow based on what the climate changes do to each and every geographical region in the world. We also have to meet the demands of a growing population. We also have to worry about that distribution system to get the food to the people that need it. And then innovation. How do we deal with enhancing that production levels and ensuring that we have the capacity to be able to meet the needs of, again, the consumers and the people we feed in the world. It's always been a goal of farmers to continue to do that work, but it's going to take some of the technology innovation to make it happen as we continue to grow our population and the climate changes.
The World Seed Partnership before had the opinion that we should not do this for the farmers only, but do it with the farmers.
Yes, and I think that's an essential part of the partnership is that we have the breeders, the seed trade, and the farmers. These are the actors. These are the people that are going to deliver food security, deliver the economic development. And our role as the organizations, UPOV, OECD, ISTA, is to put in place the frameworks, the incentives that are going to enable breeders and the seed trade to deliver what the farmers need. And to have all the key actors in this is really the key strengths, so that we really understand what each other's needs are and how we can serve them best.
Agriculture faces a profound challenge. Agriculture is expected to feed a world population that will be approaching 10 billion by 2050. It's going to have to do so using essentially the same amount of land and less water than it has done in the past. And it's got to do that while providing a livelihood to farmers and other agents all along the food chain. Now, that's a formidable challenge. Obviously, it's farmers who are going to have to deliver that, but farmers can't do it on their own. They need the appropriate regulatory and policy context in which to do so. And through the World Seed Partnership, we hope that we can provide key elements of that context that the farmers need.
What kind of support can the World Seed Partnership provide, and how can it help the seed sector in a given country?
I think the World Seed Partnership is an initiative to provide information and to really act as a focal point for information. That's also why a platform was created, a website, in order to provide this information from all the different organizations, part of this initiative. So this is a first good source of information, but also the World Seed Partnership representatives are available and traveling all over the world upon request in order to deliver this information, to provide expertise and guidance. And this is a good way to get in contact with the WSP representative at events or through the WSP website available at worldseedpartnership.org.
I think to emphasize perhaps one point, yes, it is about regulation. Yes, it is about the capacity also for us, the seed sector, to provide quality seed to the farmers. But when we are discussing also on specific countries, in any case, even us, we cannot do it alone. I think one thing is always important, that the country itself is endorsing the idea of, yes, we need a vibrant private seed sector who is then can be complementary to the public seed sector. Now, I think that the important thing we have to think about is farmers, and when we speak that we want as the seed sector to provide these improved varieties to farmers, is we need to reach them. That means that that's not regulation. That's also about the policy in the country. It's about the supply chain to build. It's about markets to build. But it's also about the capacity of the farmer, first of all, to get information, to know what means quality seed. But it's also about agronomics. And I think here's also, we are here to support, but we need also always the country and the government and extension officers on the ground to support, to reach farmers, to support best at every level the farmers. And I think this is also this working together, even us, I think we cannot do it alone.
And I think also one of the practical benefits of the partnership is now that, whereas before, if we were asked a question that was not specifically related to our particular area, but related maybe to seed quality or variety registration, we couldn't really engage, or it wouldn't go any further. Whereas now we're also there with a World Seed Partnership hat on. And if we realize that there's an issue that is related to ISTA or OECD or ISF or WFO, we can make that happen, we can put them in touch and there will be a follow-up on that. Whereas on the past, we were working in our own areas and we didn't really stray into others. And I think it means that it's quite easy to get in contact with the World Seed Partnership because you speak to anyone in the organizations and they will be aware of that and they will channel the contact in the right direction.
So how and where can somebody get in touch with someone from the World Seed Partnership?
If anybody wants to contact us, of course, they can reach us through the dedicated website, worldseedpartnership.org. But of course, people can also contact any of our respective institutions and be directed to the people who deal both with the aspects of the World Seed Partnership in their organization, but they can also make the links to other partners as well.